good, but what looks good and what is actually happening are two different. Should have just bought a rebuilt transmission. Would have cost me a lot less money. But I was just trying. Hey, turn off your ringer. I don't make that. My ringer only goes on when I go to bed. Funny enough.
I'm trying to figure out why I can hear myself.
I don't know, Dustin. Don't know.
I don't like it.
Hey everybody, we're late. Sorry about that. Didn't have a very fun day today. That's any of your all's fault. I had to do some vehicle towed. Stuff like that. And I waited till after rush hour, so it was easier on else. Including myself.
Right.
I'm sure the tow guy. Not that I told him. I just said my truck broke down. Come tow it to here. We're looking at redoing the whole transmission. Just either rebuilding it or just doing the whole thing.
Right.
Whichever happens first. Back to getting Calyrex, I guess. Okay. We got little footies. Oh, I'm not gonna look at it right now. Oh yeah, I have to. Just look at it and go. So how have you been, Dustin?
I'm alright. I got off work and enough time to come get on and play.
Oh, I guess it was kind of good that I was late then.
Yeah.
I have to buy another vehicle. Is this started?
I wonder if that's the reason. Well, I don't hear myself now.
You figured it out.
But I also don't hear you. So it's the echoes coming from your end. I don't know where, but
I don't even know how.
I don't either. But when I mute the tab, when I mute the tab, I don't get an echo. But I also don't.
Your stream fucking up? Check restream, see if you're because my audio it changed my audio settings randomly this week, past week. Check those. That might be what it is. I don't know if it's that.
Turn off the auto gain control. But that didn't really do much.
We're in Giant's bed, but where is the guy? Where's the guy?
The guy.
You guys gotta be around here somewhere. Got the transfer of the Pokedex. Oh. I was gonna do that after I did the dishes, but
Why are you just speaking to the mic?
I didn't do the dishes until 10 minutes ago. I ate and then did dishes. This is what I've done today. I've ate, worked, dealt with the truck bullshit, ate, did dishes. And I hate it. Hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Giant spit is huge. Where am I supposed to find this guy at? In silly head? I'm good. I feel like I either passed him or something happened. There he is.
There he is. The guy.
More relax. Big old more relax, walking around like we're Aerodactyl flying around like a fool. Be looking for items too. Good at white. Dude, I wish I could have had a better day. Would have been nice to go for a bike ride after work. It. Fucking trip. Gonna be at work riding home a lot the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Been rough today. This, I don't want to read this. What are you doing, Dustin?
Adjusting title on my end.
So you've been really quiet. I don't know. Rex? No. Okay. Gotta find. I should have read the books. Also, didn't talk to the other.
There we go. There we go. All better now. All better now.
Are things better, Dustin? Are they really?
Yes, and no.
I had to read all the books. I need ice root. Man, this sucks. Gotta find carrots. Got some carrot seed.
Great job. Great job.
We're trying to get Calyrex done as fast as possible. I'll get to the end game where we're just running around being goobers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where these places are. They have to play the game. Anyways. There's nothing exciting going on anymore.
No.
Right now, anyways. I think it's because there's really nothing to do. Everybody's in a kerfuffle about Trump or something else stupid. Hey, look what I got. Look at my hat. Look at my hat, Dustin. Look at it.
Sweet.
You get it for completing a Pokedex. I didn't even realize that. In Isle of Armor. I just like how wild seals act. They just roll around. Funny. They just roll. I mean, it makes sense. I just like how it happened. That's like actually a thing. That's cool.
I
Dragging him around with him now. Does a little jig. There's a big old ice carrot. Got an ice root carrot for the ice horsey.
yeah. Guys.
Uh-oh, he's trying to pillage carrots.
How dare he?
Gotta go save the peeps at the village. Go save the village from the crazy horse.
Well. You gotta do it, man. God.
You gonna battle me, you turd? Sucks to be you, I guess. Icicle crash. Hard hitting move. It was a crit hit. Yeah, flinch did.
Maybe this one on that time. Nope, vital spirit.
Eek, look out, old lady. Tuft of white mane hair. What did you just past week, Dustin?
Work. Played some Cyberpunk. Some person wants to be heard.
Know what your ass is married though. Die.
I read the chat.
Hey, what's up? Because sci-fi is science fiction. They'll never get everything right. We have hoverboards like what, 10 years ago? So we got what we call hoverboards, just shit that run around with fucking battery. Wheels. They're kinda right, but not really. I would guess for a lot of things, it's because we think they think technology advances very fast, but it really doesn't. It just seems really fast because it's just little iterations every year or every other year or whatever. But it's not actually like we've been stuck on the same tech forever now. Like people think like microprocessors or something that are kind of new. It's like, nah, they've existed for a long time. The only difference is they're just tiny. Mainframes were microprocessors at point in time. But microprocessors were. But it's pretty much the same thing, just put in a small package. We've been stuck on a lot of tech for a long time. I mean, the newest version of like what gives us, as far as like technology, is all just we've put too much time and money and effort into just microchips and stuff. So humans have this innate ability to, as a species, to focus on one thing all the time. It's just very good all the time. What I'm trying to say.
Oh,
Like, for instance, when a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, that's another problem. Everything comes out all the time, like, really fast. That's a really bad thing. It's just little iterations all the time. Never, like, a new story. It's never, like, something of interest. Shit. Maybe we're supposed to have a lot of things by now. Mechs would be awesome. If they were as ubiquitous as they were, and like, let's say, things like that. Because people think the Gundams are the mechs that they're talking about in the show, but a lot of the mobile suits aren't Gundam. Actually, the vast majority of mobile suits aren't Gundams. Some of them aren't even really mobiles. They function the same way. A similar effect. That's why I think this is the kind of thing that I see constantly. This is
even the giant Gundam that Japan has isn't composed to robot.
Yeah. But like that whole Tesla robot thing, I don't think and AI, I think people are wrong about it. About both. 100%. I think we'll use robots to do things that are super duper dangerous. And that's about it. I know we've automated some work, but reality is that there's just certain jobs, no matter how well you equip a robot, it'll be like, oh, the robot can't do that.
Right.
And it's always
right.
going to be a problem. That's why I think AI, I think the reason why they had a shit fit about importing workers to America, the use of building AI just kind of fruitless. Because AI has been out for a long time. A lot of people don't think it is. Well, it's not really AI, but we can get into a discussion about that later. What we
Right,
call
right.
AI isn't going to be as fruitful as they think it is. It's going to get rid of dumb jobs, for very repetitive jobs. Like for instance, kind of like what the automation that we have now does. It's just going to be more like text based and like not just going to be. Like, we're not just gonna be like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. You'll get rid of. I have a feeling that AI is gonna be. It's not a very good way. Not a good way for us to go.
I don't think it is.
I don't hate it, but I also don't think it's what they think it's gonna. I think they're way over dramatically overstating how important AI will be. The average person. See, before AI, people forget this. Before AI was the thing was quantum computing, and nobody's really using that. So there are a few multi-billion corporations using it. Sure, governments have it too. And probably have had it longer than the billion-dollar corporations. But I mean, in what the early 2010s, people were talking about quantum computing like it was going to be like end all be all. Like it's not going to. This whole idea of the cloud's a bad idea too. For multiple reasons, but the biggest one being is that people are relying on cloud backup for a lot of things that they shouldn't. Like every year I download any cloud stuff that I have to a hard drive, stuff that I have strictly to the cloud. Usually just photos and videos from my phone. Like personal stuff, like my son, family events, things like that. I don't take a shit ton of pictures. Like, a couple here and there, and that's about it. I'd rather personally live in them. Yeah, the small iteration. That's the problem Pokemon's running into, and I think Arceus Legends is kind of showing that. I know it came out like way later than, but I think the teams that are working on it were stuck in that loop, and they need to just not produce anything for a little bit. Just incremental updates, and the new Legends game seems like to be a consequence of constantly doing micro adjustments to something. Not always good, right? At least I don't think it is. It's just it's a pure materialistic way of looking at it. It's always the number go up thing. Another problem. Number go up. Depends on the number. It can be a great thing. Also, depending upon what you want. For instance, as far as economics goes, we use GDP a lot, and I can't stand GDP. I think it's one of the worst metrics to ever measure. Because GDP isn't specific to what's actually being made. A lot of the stuff that they count under GDP is insanity. And nor would I count it as stuff being made or put towards the GDP. Or what they would call GDP.
Right,
I don't know what you
right.
would call it. You wouldn't call it GDP after this. But, like, sorry, the guy who does nothing but TPS reports all day, he's not contributing anything to GDP. Nothing. But they count it as that. And it's, well, he produced a report. It's like, yeah, cool. what does that do besides help that company or help that whatever? Now obviously there's times where reports are important, but like if you're not actually producing anything, it could be anything from content to things to sell, things like that. If you're not actually producing anything, you don't really have an economy. The problem with the U.S. economy, we're heavily service-based. Nobody really makes anything. And it's, well, they do, but if they make it overseas, because it's cheaper or whatever. You blame it on a bunch of stuff. Everybody blames corporate greed or billionaire greed or whatever, but it's also, there's a lot of things that go into it. That's why when I say they should, when people are like, they should import people for this, it's like, it's stupid. What do you mean? I was like, I know plenty of people who know about AI. And not just know about it, but actually like know how to like use it and maybe even develop it to be better. But they don't care. They want number go up. Number go up isn't the best thing. Another thing, like yeah, if you're playing a sport, it goes up. Number go up good, but like when you're like, oh, when you're worried about like, one of the biggest problems.
Your turnover rate. Your turnover rate.
Yeah.
That number go up.
Yeah, but companies don't care if they do anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Because we're service-based, that's the reason. We're actually a service-based economy. Even my job is service. Really hard to not have a service-based economy.
It's becoming worse. Is the problem?
Yeah.
Because
as much as people hate the current president or whatever, but the reality is that our country doesn't make shit. And like people are like, well, Tesla's an American car. I'm like, no, it's not. It's all made in China. It's shipped here and assembled. What the fuck are you talking about? What part of that is American?
And the owner is fucking African.
Not even that. It's also like you see that about Toyota too. When Toyota started making stuff here, it's like they make like 3 parts here. Shut up. Like that truck isn't American made. Shut the fuck up. You're retarded. None of them are. You're just retarded. Really are. And they sit there and say, well, it's because of rare earth minerals. I was like, we can't even check for rare earth minerals. What the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, any exploration into any kind of mining, like lithium, steel, even coal, it's heavily regulated to the point that it's literally not worth it. Like, it would cost more. Let me put it this way. It's cheaper for you to start a whole new car company and get everything built overseas instead of here than it is to look for the things that we need to build, or that we need to build that car in America. We have no idea what our rare earth metals are. We have a vague idea. We haven't even like searched in areas that would have them. And it's kind of crazy, like general topography, things like that. Like, we're not even allowed to look there. So, which makes sense sometimes. You don't want to ruin the whole world with fucking mines and shit. But, here's a sad reality. People think everything's finite, but people forget that we could also go back, and technology has gotten so much better in, like, different fields, from ore extraction to, growing food to all of it, that we act like we need, like, a lot of these things that aren't really needed. And it's kind of crazy. If you want, like, we don't need electric cars, sorry, that's just, I mean, they can exist, I'm not saying they can't. And, like, that's not going to fix our problem. Even if the climate change stuff is, like, actually true, which I don't think is, as far as the way they depict it. I think they don't think hard enough about it. I just like killed him and didn't try to catch him. Yes. Just, what's up, TJ? How you doing, man? It doesn't matter how you look at it, whether you're left, right, center. If you're not looking at the reality of the world is you're only useful if you can produce something. That's the reality of the world. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And life is what it is. It's kind of like my transmission blew up again today, right? There's nothing I could do about it besides get a new one. It is what it is. I spent, you know, $700 on somewhere between $600 and $700 on it. Fix it, and it wasn't worth it. So it sucks, but it is what it is. But I never had no visions of grandeur saying the transmission could not blow up after this. It was a chance I took. Yeah, was it a waste? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, well, at least I know I can just replace the transmission now. I feel like an idiot for doing so. Now it's to the point to where it's like, yeah, I might as well just get a transmission. Or get it rebuilt, point to where everything's replaced except for L. I mean, pretty much where we're at. I don't know why I just didn't throw the Master Ball. I would get. I'm getting another vehicle as soon as possible, probably. It sucks, but I have the strange feeling that we're just gonna turn this into a whole rebuild. Might as well before I dump this much money into it.
Right.
That thing needs a lot of work. It probably needs new differentials in general. If we're doing a rebuild, we're probably gonna strap that year 2500 rear axle on it, for the option of disc brakes, and it'd still be a heavy duty setup, in the rear. All new suspension, all new, well, maybe not everything new in the block. Pistons and certain seals, things like that. Maybe add a little bit of horsepower by tuning it mechanically. Things like that. But the reality is that whole thing needs a rebuild. All the seals are, what, 30 years old now. They're all kind of broken. Breaking, deteriorating. I mean, I tried, I did what I could. Nothing I can do about it. I'm on my bicycle right now. Too bad. You gotta fight the Titan boy.
I guess I won.
Yeah. Kinda. Not yet. You're getting there. He's essentially healing. You'll see. You haven't done one yet, have you? Makes sense. Doing. But yeah, like, I'm stuck for the moment for a bit, and then I'm probably gonna buy a new vehicle and just, I don't know, maybe start doing freelance shit. Like, everybody wants to talk about economics and, like, what economic system they can use and whatever. I was like, it's all based on the same. Doesn't really matter. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you have to produce something. To produce a physical object. At some point in time. Or you're just service-based economy. Part of the reason why people are paid so low. Because the services that... like, people complain about, like, all this stuff, like, like wages are stagnant or whatever. It's like, yeah, well, I mean, that's what happens in that type of economy. People look at you like you're stupid. It's like, no, but it's true. You can get mad about it, but the reality is that is the truth. You're hurting? Well, you did just go through surgery, so you're gonna be hurting a good bit. But you gotta make something. Like people say, like communism works. I'm like, it doesn't. Nothing. No economy actually works a certain time. All the time. Then you got a lot of problems, right? You got market forces. You got this is just normal stuff, like in a normal capitalistic society that has some, or what we call capitalistic society, that has some restraints on the corporations. Obviously, some are intelligent, strange, but a lot of them. I would say you can't have a here's the problem, right? Like I was talking to somebody about this. I was like, you can't have a completely free market. Someone's like, why? I was like, because it would have to be the only way that works is an ANCAP society. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, that's the only way it would work. And they're like, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, it makes complete and total sense, dude. What do you technically everything affects a market. Everything. So you know that pesky law of not murdering people, that affects the markets. People not, and the whole point in anarcho-capitalism is that never changing. Never melt ice. Have that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get rid of murder as a as a law, that kind of thing's gonna happen.
I got
Now, in reality, I think the best system that we've come up with would be capitalism, because this world's poverty is just because of it. But now everybody just moves the goalpost and says, well, the outcomes aren't equal. Who said that? You can't make outcomes equal. Equality is a myth. Like, it's not real, guys. Like, we have equality in some areas, sure, but the reality is equality is a myth. People are always going to be better at things than other people. You can't stop that from happening. It's literally impossible. The only way you can stop that from happening is if you hinder everybody else, right? So, which that isn't good. You don't want to hinder other people because you want to be equal. Equality's a crazy statement. And it's even worse because equality doesn't actually work in the real world either. Like, real world. Look, if you removed humans from the Earth today, all the apex predators would come back and be a part of the natural area which they're supposed to be. No, the fact that humans kind of disrupted that wasn't really fair. It wasn't exactly equal. You know what I mean? We didn't equalize anything. We just invented things to kill things in mass. That's all we did.
I can
Oh yeah, that's right. You're supposed to have, but People don't realize it. Like, even communism has to work under making stuff. And even if you did have one whole world under the same government, under the same currencies, all that stuff, you have problems there too. We already have that problem kind of happening today. A lot of the dialectic of different areas is starting to go away. So whichever people become more popular are going to have the better dialectic, right? Like, for instance, I'm from Pennsylvania. When I first moved here, when I first moved to Maryland, I used to say things like yins and prick and buggy and things like that, pop, but after being around people for so long, it's just gone. Just speak like everybody else. Just same area that I live. So, because it does, no matter what you do, you can't change that either. And it's happening en masse in every language, period, because of the fact that of the internet. The internet's so ubiquitous. I mean, you have people who are dirt poor in countries in comparison to us, and they have a phone that has cellular internet service. You know what I mean? So they're starting to get all their, like, each country is eventually, what's going to happen is each country is eventually going to run out of dialects. So like when I like it when people are like, you learn like when Europeans especially, like, well, I know like 3 languages, and I was like, that's cool, so do I technically.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I can speak East Coastian, I can speak Midwestern / Appalachian, and I can speak Southern. What are you talking about? Like, that's how different they are, because they're like, because they don't account for how things are different, like how languages are different, or how they're not different in a lot of cases. Like, for instance, a lot of the European languages, like Italian, Greek, all that stuff, it all comes from Latin. They're all the same fucking thing. Yeah, surgery does hurt. They're all the same fucking thing. So, like, they're just a little bit different. To them, learn, like... Yeah, it's just the aftermath. You're gonna be sore a lot. Luckily, I've never had any major surgery, so I'm not too worried for myself on it. But...
No, they just brought your brother twice.
Yeah, he had to deal with that pain. He still deals with it every day, dude. You wanna know how bad my brother's accident was? Let me put it this way. Just the surgical cuts he has, he feels every day of his life. Like, he feels the nerves trying to reconnect. And it sucks. It hurts like hell. He's like, there's days where I don't even want to get out of bed. Back just hurts. Because part of his surgery was not his back, but like, not like his spinal area, but like the back where your ribs are.
Oh yeah,
that part of your back.
I bet you that whole fucking side is fucking...
Yep. Yeah, Dustin's seen it. Yeah. Because that thing hurts every day, all day. I can't stop it. It's just always like... nothing I can do about it.
And really,
but his surgery was a lot deeper and a lot more in depth, and it was like kind of a new thing. Like, he was the second person ever to get that type of surgery.
And honestly, there's really nothing you can take because painkillers are... All they're gonna do is... By the time it takes enough of the pain out, you just want to lay out like you don't have anything left in you.
Yeah. He had a vacuum in his chest cavity, like one that sucked out gunk but wouldn't get infected. It was like a sponge that was attached to his back where his ribs are. Like, almost near the armpit, but not quite there. I've never heard my brother scream like that in pain when they changed that out. Never heard of ever. Ever. I don't think I've ever heard anyone scream like that. Not even a pregnant woman. Pretty rough. It took everything I had to not go downstairs and kill the nurse that was helping him. Everything. I had to stay in my. I had to stay where I was because if I didn't, I was gonna kill somebody. You don't hurt my brother like that. You don't hurt my brother at all. It's not even a like that scenario. It's you don't hurt him. I know it sounds overprotective and overbearing, but the reality is, dude, when you hear your family member scream like that, you want to kill. Dude, Dustin's echoing. How is everybody? How did we have an echo issue? It's never had an issue.
I don't know.
I don't hear you echoing. Is my voice meter being goofy? No. All the settings are right. Yeah. Wait, do I have the wrong set? Wait, did restream fuck up my audio again? Probably.
It might have. It might have.
It did. Oh, a second. I'm gonna try something really quick. I'm gonna cut out my video. Do
Okay.
Start talking.
Well, clearly that didn't work. Worst part is you can't hear it.
Yeah, I can't hear it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But they've tried to figure it out. I don't fucking know. Maybe if I mute it, you're gonna have a laggy voice. Mute your side? No, because if I mute your side, I won't be able to hear you at all. Set that up. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at it afterwards. I can't really figure it out right now.
Right.
We don't even know whose end it's from. Here's it, but I don't know if it's from my end or your.
Right. I don't get it.
My out's correct. And you're not going out my out thing. At least you weren't. I redid that.
Turn that down a little. That's audible.
Yeah, I figured whose it was. He, I figured you were talking about him. It might be his side, but he had an echo of himself earlier. And not... I don't think it was coming through here. Wait, do you have your voice... Look at your, Look at your voice meter. Is your voice only in your out?
Yeah.
Your out is B. Is my voice only in your in?
No, my voice comes in my in.
No, I mean on your outputs.
Yes, my outputs and inputs are correct.
Well, that's weird because here's an even weird.
I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know either. What is going? Oh wait, did it change? Wait, did it change that too? This is an output.
Wait, did that?
That's why.
It sure
Your audio
did.
output.
It was my output.
output
Restream.
Yeah, and my audio output. Oh.
I can't hear you for shit now. Hang on.
What was that? Able output.
That one? That one? No, I can hear myself. Wait, are you talking?
I just started talking. You hear me?
Okay.
'Cause I was getting it straight from Restream, but it wasn't
The
supposed to. That
default
was
is
weird.
that. Which then I can't hear myself.
Why would you want to hear yourself? That would actually be.
But I don't hear your Pokemon either.
Well, it's definitely being put through. Okay, let me check this again. So your audio input should be voice meter out B1, and your audio
Holy
output
shit.
should be cable A input.
That's what that was. Okay, that's why I could hear that one. Okay.
Try that. You got to go leave. Right back.
Communications chat. I don't know. He left and now I can't hear shit. I can't hear myself. I do hear his Pokemon now, though. Ugh.
So what's your
I do
input and
hear you.
output?
Oh my piss!
What?
It was really loud.
You. Me.
Yeah, when you sat down, it was fucking loud as shit. Anyway. No, I had to change it to my default communications. It's all good now. I can hear
They're
you.
gonna stop
and
the
I don't get
echo
it.
on the other side.
Well, I don't hear it, so I'm assuming that it's not.
Yeah, but if
being heard at
YouTube
all.
hears it, that's even worse. I'd rather hear an
I
echo
don't-
on my end
I'm
than
just saying
on YouTube.
I don't hear it anymore, so I'm assuming it's gone now. I'm waiting for
I'm going into.
somebody. I'm waiting for somebody to say,
Look right.
"Yeah, because you suck, stupid."
We should be good. Fucking restream always resetting shit. I haven't touched my restream settings in forever. This
I
past
don't
week has been
ever
giving me more shit than anything
don't
else. Turn
ever
your
touch
fucking
them.
notifications off.
Don't fucking tell me what to do.
That wasn't supposed to be that. Grab that. That's
Who the fuck are
Looking
you?
for
Why are
items,
you
not
just
feet.
randomly standing? Fucking weirdo.
Dude, that's like all the whole game. They're just like randomly standing in places. It pisses me off, actually. Like, how is this even a fucking thing? Like, that was the worst part about their whole design in that game. They didn't put enough trainers on the paths or near the paths. They didn't have to put them on it, just like somewhere near where it was rendering. Half of them are like out in the middle of fucking nowhere, doing absolutely fucking
Right.
nothing for no one.
Or like that swimsuit guy in the fucking tundra area.
It doesn't bother me as much as just not being able to see anyone. Like, at all. Pokey doll. In his teeth. Already got both of those. That was a pain. I'm running from this in a random mail. Fuck out of here. But there's just a lot of things that suck now. It's just mediocrity at this point. That's all we really seem to move towards. And the only reason we move towards mediocrity is because of the way what is merit based. When they say merit based, they don't actually mean it. On any side. Doesn't matter what side or what like when people say merit basis, do you agree with me essentially? If you don't, then you're not a part of the merit. Really.
Right.
It's kind of gross. Honest. I wish it was different, trust me. I'd love for my son to grow up in a world where that wasn't the case, but it's not really fair that he has he busts his ass in school and gets honor roll and shit, and he's stuck with a bunch of retarded kids around him. Not actually retarded, but people who aren't even like trying to do the work. Stupid kids. Get stuck with them. Why? When you ask anyone at the school, they're like, what do you mean, why? The way it's always been, it's like, it's not the way it should be. What are you talking about? If he can skip grades, he should be able to skip fucking grades. I raised my kid to be intelligent. Think. Use his brain a little. Might not be the smartest person in the fucking world, but I'll tell you right now, I try to use my head as much as I possibly can. There's a reason why I learn new things constantly. I get bored. So, there's that. Then when people see you say you're like, oh, you're just bored, it's like, that's good. What are you talking about? Like, boredom, that's one thing that's also killed, like, smartphones killed that. Smartphones just killed boredom. It's like, yeah, you're bored and you're looking through stuff. That's why you're looking through it, but it distracts you. Remember when we were kids and we were bored, we just go do cool shit? Remember that? Remember that, Dustin?
What?
Remember when we were kids and we would just be bored and we just go do cool shit?
Oh, yeah.
The kids don't do that anymore. Really weird. I tell my son, go fuck outside. Go do something. Get dirty. Get injured, but not actually injured. Like, get some scrapes and bruises and bumps and shit. What are you doing? You have a cut on you at all times. Not because you were out having knife fights and shit, because... Come on, man. You know what I mean? Also... You should be trying to do dangerous stuff. I told him that all the time. I was like, you should try and do dangerous stuff. He's like, but why? I'm like, what do you mean, but why? Who cares? You're a kid. Yeah, you want to be healthy, but you also don't want to live a life to where you're, like, stuck. I gotta be bored because I got hurt the last time I did that. Well, I won't do it that way that time. I know that sounds stupid and childish, but the reality is what it is. If you do something and it breaks something, don't do it again. Like, that doesn't mean don't do that activity ever again. Just don't do the thing you did that caused it to break. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's unavoidable. I understand that. You gotta learn how to take risks. Very important too. I wish I would have took more risk in my life. Honest. Sure, I will later on. But be honest, if you want my honest opinion, most of the advice of play it safe. Look, when they say that, they don't actually understand what they're saying. Because, like, to me, play it safe means don't do that thing. Right? That's what that means to me. That doesn't mean do it cautious. So when you say that to me, it literally just means don't do that. What you should be saying is do that, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, oh well, shit happens. It's the way the world works, man. Always worked that way. It's never not worked that way. Anyone that tries to tell you any difference, just straight lying to you. Even if it's your parents. Like, that's one thing I've learned is that as much advice as my dad has given me, most of it is literally the basic stuff, like, you know, work hard, don't be afraid to learn, things like that. Yeah. But, like, when you start getting into more things that are more complex, I've learned that I shouldn't really listen to anyone. Because where I'm at is from listening to people. And it's on me. I'm not saying it's their fault, but from listening to other people, my life could be a lot better if I didn't listen. It's not just a monetary thing either, it's also an accomplishment. So, I did that even though everyone said I shouldn't, kind of thing. It's not because I'm trying to be rebellious, it's because I should have went and proved everybody wrong instead of listening to them. That's why I don't really like it when teachers tell kids, like, no matter how fucked up they are, they're useless. It's like, they're not fucking useless. They're probably the most useful people. Usually they're fucked up because they're stuck in this stupid, retarded world that we call Earth. And social norms, no matter what culture you're talking about. Everybody's like, that's just a cultural thing. It's like, it's not really a cultural thing when it's like... It's not really a cultural thing when, like, people are always against you in every civilization. And I get people don't like change, but that's not the reason it happens. It happens because of jealousy most of the time. Straight jealousy. I don't even realize they're being jealous. Things like that. You'd be surprised at how much of the world is run by just straight jealousy. You start learning that over time. Keep an eye out, you'll see it. It's not hard to see. Jealousy also makes some of the most meme-worthy shit. Have you seen that dude who was like, here's my morning routine, getting ready. He's like doing all this ridiculous shit. He gets up at like 3:30. Does your normal getting ready shit, does some push-ups. Soaks his face in ice water later on. It's like the weirdest fucking... I'm like, that's meme worthy. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that stuff, because I don't know what any of that stuff will do for you, besides the push-ups and the showering. Because I don't fucking know. I mean, I know what those will do for you, but the ice face soak, I don't get that. I guess to keep you awake. If you're waking up at 3:30 in the morning, yeah, you're gonna need to be kept awake. Unless you're going to bed at like 8. I'll give you that many hours before you're like falling asleep in your chair. For most people. Not everyone. Insomniacs, there's people who don't actually have insomnia that are just lineagely bridged to nighttime work. Things like that, because their great bajillion great grandfather was the night guard. Shit like that. Like, that's a real thing. And it's not anxiousness either. That's why I said to people, like, people are always like, why do you have insomnia? Anxious? No. I just think at some point in time in my life that one of my relatives a lot of my relatives were the night guard. So
I want to use that to drive around here.
You don't get one of
Fuck
those.
riding
Also,
a-
just
Fuck riding a Pokemon.
that is a Pokemon. You realize this,
That
right?
is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the decked out version of that Pokemon. It's a car. Pokemon's a car.
Pokemon is ridiculous. That's what Pokemon is.
But, yeah, there's a lot of things in life people learn way too late. Or just didn't follow their gut when they should have. There's a lot of times I can look back at my life and be like, I should have done that. I shouldn't have given anyone that thing. I would have been a lot happier, even if it failed. You know? At least I tried. Maybe I would try it more than once. Maybe I would just get better at it and eventually have something out of it. But a lot of the world, no matter what situation you're in, a lot of the world is like, no, you shouldn't do because it's dangerous. So whatever.
Right.
Not necessarily dangerous to your health or anything, but like dangerous to your finances, dangerous to the time spent with your family, your mental psyche, and all this other fucking bullshit. Most people don't realize this, but a lot of psychology is bullshit. So when you sit there and say, like your psyche, it's like your psyche doesn't actually matter as long as you can deal with what you're doing.
Right.
Obviously, your psyche matters if you're like in a war zone kill or getting shell shocked, as they called it back in the day when you would just be shelled, scared out of your fucking mind. You don't know when the shelling is gonna happen again.
I don't feel like dealing with it right now. But I see it.
See what? But yeah, a lot of shell shit, like people don't realize this. Like people talk about PTSD like it's this like massive thing, and it is a big thing. It is important to talk about. But like, at least in throughout American history, wars never cause as much PTSD as people. Because you hear about it all the time, right? Which makes you think it happens a lot, but it doesn't. Does it happen often? Yeah, sure. I'm not saying it's not uncommon. What I'm saying is that I think if we're going to talk about the mental health of veterans and PTSD and all this kind of stuff, we need to talk about it honestly. Society doesn't get men ready for war. It doesn't and hasn't for a very long time.
Nor does it give a fuck about them when they come back.
Yeah. Like they don't actually get them ready for war. Like they teach them how to fight war, but they don't actually get them ready for. That's probably why I'm so cold. It's probably part of my dad's like, you know, always being around my dad, with my dad and stuff. Like I have a very cold reaction. But I guess I wouldn't even say it's cold. I would just say it's stoic. Personally, people say it's cold. And I'm like, I think you're just saying that because you know some of my past, and you think it's cold, but in all reality, it's just giving a shit, not making a big deal out of stupid shit. Like, if you're wanting to make a big deal out of stupid shit, I can do that, but you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say. That's another thing people don't realize when they don't like what you actually have to say. Or what you think is actually just reality. You get it mixed up with like what they think reality should be versus what it actually is. You'll get really mad when you point out what's actually going on. My suggestion is always get ready for reality. Point out, pay attention, don't get tricked by your own sense of calmness. That someone isn't around the corner to fuck you. Some way, shape, or form. That's the only advice I can give. Not actual advice, I know. Like, just pay attention. Pay attention to the people around you, who you keep around you. All that stuff. And by the way, that doesn't mean if you want to be successful. I think this is, like, insane to me. there's a lot of people. I get when there's just like stubborn people that exist on the planet that won't. But like, that's actually really rare. Yeah, I don't think people understand how rare that is. Like, it's stupid fucking rare, dude. Like, my opinions have changed since I've been alive, probably more times than I like to admit. But the reality is that everyone changes throughout their whole entire life constantly. It's not just trauma or whatever, it's just things you learn. Like, most people's opinions on things are formed by feelings. It's really fucking annoying. 'Cause I'm tired of having to argue with people with like, but that's not right, but it is right. You just don't like the result. Like, that's really, really what it is. Like, you feel like that result is wrong. When feelings don't even fucking matter. Like, I can get all my feelings, get butthurt, and be mad that, you know, my dad didn't. He also, you know, he didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen in the future. He just give you some base advice. Like, I can think that way, but there's no point in doing that either. Then I'm just gonna be like claiming things that I chose to do, even though I should have done them. Listen, right? You've got to make discernments, because I'll tell you right now, like I tell my son, I tell him all the time, like, I'm making you a warrior. What are you talking about? You have to conquer constantly. Rest your best you can. Results may vary, but like, you got to conquer everything.
Gotta do it.
Not easy.
You gotta do
Trust
all
me,
the things.
Like, he doesn't even know what to do, because, like, we're actually, you know, okay, this is what happened to me, right? Like, my life story. I'll give you a brief, we'll just go with work, right? A brief story of my life history, work. My dad had a company, worked for him for a long time. We moved here, or when I was in middle school and high school. Moved here, in high school. He started a company, but it wasn't, like, the primary thing. I worked for him and another company, usually. Throughout the rest of high school, even into early adulthood. I started working at Martin's, local grocery store, and I stayed there for far too fucking long. I moved to Microsoft. At the time, my son had been born for a while, had been alive for a while. He was like, I don't know, 3 or 4. And at the time when I started working for Microsoft, at one of their stores, mind you, I was working in another construction capacity at doing chimneys. Yes, I actually know how to do masonry. I know how to do retarded shit that, like, people are like, what? When did you learn that? When I went to go work for a company because I needed money. That's what I did. Like, I cut down trees for 6 months. I just went and learned it. What I did. You know how hard it is to learn how to cut down a tree without hurting yourself? Like, you gotta be stupid careful all the fucking time. Especially when you're cutting down. It's not like I was a logger, right? We could just fell trees. They could just drop them. No. I was an arborist, which is worse. You actually gotta fucking focus and pay attention and, like, give a shit. Because you're gonna not only hurt yourself, you're gonna hurt someone else. You're gonna hurt that person's property that you're cutting the tree down on. All that. Like, there's a lot of stuff you gotta worry about as an arborist. I will say this, though. When they do cut the trees in sections, which I love doing, by the way, it was my favorite thing to do. All my coworkers used to call me crazy for that. Dude, when you cut the top quarter or third off a really tall tree, and you know, you're a third of the way down from the top. And once you cut that piece off, it fucking swings like a slingshot back and forth. Just like, it's fucking insanity. It's great. I loved it. It was awesome. It was fun. It was sick. Is it safe? No. Nothing about arborism is safe at all. Nothing. You climb a tree with some metal pegs attached to your feet and a strap to hold you to the tree with a gas motor with a chain that has saw blades on it. There's nothing safe about that.
Hey, can you catch that Pokemon in Scarlet, or is it only in Violet?
Which one?
The cycle lizard thing.
Oh, Miradon?
No,
Cyclozar, you can catch it in air. Cyclozar's in both games.
I haven't seen one yet, but Grayson has a Violet, so...
No, you can find them in both games. I thought you were talking about the other one. Yeah, that would box legendary, which is really a legendary. It's a fucking... But yeah, follow your gut a little bit more. Don't overthink things too much. And be critical of what you're doing while you're doing it. And I mean everything in your life. I'm not even kidding. When I say everything, I literally mean it. You know what I mean? If you work as a welder, be critical of your welding work all the time. Day in, day out, night and day. Doesn't matter how good you are, I don't care. You need to just critical of everything. I mean, I'm super critical on what we do here, streaming and stuff. Like, I'm sitting here thinking about not smoking during streams. This has probably got a larger mass appeal. To not just followers, like just people watching. For whatever reason, smoking turns people off really a lot, and I think it's mostly just propaganda. But I get why. It's, you know... The reality is, people have smoked forever. Been a normal activity forever. It doesn't matter if it was tobacco or other plants. People have smoked forever. Never gonna get rid of it. Stop acting like you are. You're not cool enough to do that. Sorry. Nor would I ever suggest anyone smoke, but you're not gonna get rid of it. There's always gonna be a faction of people that do it. And I've noticed throughout my years of working, people that smoke are usually the people that have no fucks to give. Like, you know what they do for a living. They usually work construction or some other kind of dangerous job. If they don't, it's a holdover from when they did. Now this isn't glorifying smoking at all. I don't think anyone should smoke. But I'm an idiot, so... But the reality is that I think people take too much umbrage with people who smoke. Because most people who smoke are just mind their fucking business. Besides doing what they're... You know. You listen to your rules already. We're outside now. Stop crying about it, please. Unless it's in our own houses. But also, there's a lot of propaganda against smoking in general. Like, that secondhand smoke thing, that's just a fucking lie. And most smokers don't even die from cancer. Usually it's heart attack. FYI. If you're actually really curious, look into the studies of this. Because I did, you know. Most of the time, it isn't cancer. It can be. Most of the time, it's like heart attack, stroke, cardiovascular stuff. Neither are good, by the way. I'm not saying they're good. What I'm saying is that the worst case scenario isn't always going to happen. Most smokers die of like heart attack. That's all I'm saying. And I have a dad who was a smoker and worked construction and dealt with asbestos and all other fucking shit, and he's had throat cancer. Blame smoking, and you can also blame the asbestos he had to pull out for a decade. You know? And he painted forever. On construction, all kinds of forever. Painting. Always primary. Really good at it.
Dude, I don't know where this guy is.
Who are you looking for?
The fucking water gym leader.
Oh, he's right there next to the desert. Go down. Right there. Oh no, where he is, back out. Let me see the map. Let me see the map. Map. Zoom out a little bit. Just once. He's all the way over there. Go north. Go up.
Oh.
He's in that town.
Ah. What's he doing all the way over
Yeah,
there?
don't be surprised when you find out later in
here.
life a lot of the things that you listen to and read about. A lot of them are just over exaggerations, and some of them are just outright lies. I'll give you one example: AIDS. I don't know if they taught that here in Maryland, but where I lived in Pennsylvania, when we went through sex ed, AIDS, everybody was going to have, by the way, this is 5th grade, everyone was going to have AIDS by 2010. Everyone. And that was actually a scientific consensus for a bit. I looked into the history of this. It came from the 80s, and it came from the same doctor that we called, or that was in the White House, Dr. Fauci. Dealing with COVID, and he made up these studies that were like, oh, people who were eating just cereal out of the same box would fucking get AIDS from each other and shit, which was just completely false. It could happen, yeah, it's just rarely gonna happen. It's a super rare thing to happen. I mean, you can say what you want about COVID. COVID wasn't good. No one thinks it was good. But I don't know what people expected when for the past, I don't know, humans have existed. There's always some kind of illness at the beginning of every century that since, I don't even know when, that wiped out a big part of the population. To be honest, we got lucky with COVID. If that's the thing we have to worry about, holy shit. We got dead ass lucky. What we got. Because, yeah, a lot of people died, don't get me wrong, it sucks, but that's not, it's been far worse. I mean, the Black Death happened for how long? Forever.
Oh, little dark crocodile guy.
I don't think that was in the beginning of a century. I think that was like in the middle. But for a long time, it was always in the beginning of a century where we had issues, illness, kind of illness. It's like,
Shit.
got lucky it was COVID this time. No matter where it came from. Everybody thinks like, oh, where it came from and all that stuff matters. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, yeah, it's shitty that it came from a lab in Wuhan. Who cares?
Well, I found another type. I accidentally found another type.
Good Titan. Fun Titan. That's why I find it funny when people are like I vote, but I vote mostly just for fun. Like, it's not even like a real thing for me. Like, whatever, they're gonna fuck me anyway, so who cares? Shit, most of the time I write in people. I don't even fucking vote for who's being elected. Like, I'll vote in, like, random friends, family. Some of them don't even live in, like, the area in which I, like, voted for him in, so they couldn't even really hold that office anyway. don't take voting seriously. Because it's not serious. My vote's gonna get canceled out by some fucking goofy lady that's on OF or something. I'm good, dude. Like, obviously. You know, I don't really have a problem with a woman doing OF besides she kind of fucked herself and she's gonna whine about it later. Not, and both literally and figuratively fucked herself, but I just don't respect that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, they don't. Everyone knows that. No one's stupid. No one's that stupid. Everyone knows. Everyone knows guys don't respect that kind of work. It means if you are a part of that kind of work, it sucks to be you, but you're never going to be taken seriously by any man. As far as a relationship goes. He may be okay with that, that's fine, I don't care. Deal, but like, pretty sure your parents didn't raise you to do that. And you do have duties to your parents. To a point. You know? But want to say you don't. I get it if your parents were actually, like, bad parents. But, like, my parents weren't bad. Were they always the greatest parents in the world? No. But that's part of life. You're not going to bat 1,000 at everything. Comes up. And I don't expect them to. I never did. Really. My brother did more than I did. Like, what do you do? Like, what do you expect? Like, there are only two people in the world. They're the only two people in the world that you should really give a shit about besides me. And, like, you can't just expect him to drop everything for you all the time. That's when he was young and stupid, you know. Everybody goes through that. I'm sure I did. I'm sure everyone's gone through it a little bit. Even if it wasn't like their primary quote-unquote issue. I think a lot of the crap that people say their parents are abusive or whatever is just misunderstood. They don't seem, and their parents, I guess, couldn't articulate it correctly to them at that point in time in their lives. I don't know. They're too young and they just couldn't understand, or they were just being stubborn and just wouldn't understand. I know that's happened with me before. I'll admit that 110%. I'm not no perfect angel. Never have been, never will be.
Fuck was that?
Or did everything right. And you're not going to do everything right. It's not. It's actually impossible to do everything right. You might get it right enough to where it doesn't fuck you in the end, but you're gonna do something wrong. It's gonna suck. You're gonna reflect on it and be like, that was stupid as shit of me. What the fuck is wrong with me? You can't let it get down. You just gotta change. Move on. It's just for everybody. Like, I know I get on women a lot, but like, guys aren't too great right now either. And it's not toxic masculinity, it's the exact opposite of femininity. Too many guys are too feminine now. Like, they just won't stand up for themselves and shit. Like, when my son said he was getting picked on in school, I said then beat the fuck out of him. If it's bothering you that much, then beat the fuck out of him. I'm gonna warn you of everything that has to do with fighting. 1, you're gonna get in trouble at school. 2, you're not gonna get in trouble with me, especially if they hit you first. You're never gonna get in trouble. But with that said, I can't account your mother. Might get mad at you, but you're not getting punished. I will never let them. I will argue with your mom for days. He knows. She won't even argue. She's like, well, he was doing what he was supposed to do. Father taught him. And you're gonna get an ass whooping. Everybody does. All these guys who are like, I never had my ass kicked. Fucking liar. If you've never had your ass kicked, you've never been in a real fight. Like a real fight. When I say a real fight, someone who you know is, you know, close to equally as skilled as you are at fighting. Not sparring, not fucking around in the gym. Like an actual fight. Because if you've ever actually fought a person, like for real, you know, afterwards, even if you do win, your whole body hurts. Your face, wherever else they hit you. Your knuckles from hitting them. Your hands can break in a fist fight. It's not hard, especially if you don't have the bone density or the functional muscle in your hands to not take the impact. I told him, look, you're gonna be hurting the next day, but you gotta stand up for yourself. And have some little dork. By the way, it was like the dorkiest ass motherfucker in the whole entire school. Or his whole entire class. He has some fucking dork. You know, make fun. If he's making fun of you, make fun of him back. If he hits you, hit him back. You don't start fights, you end them. I don't want him going around beating up random ass people. For a reason. No rule to live by. If you need to defend yourself, do it. I don't even care how you do it, to be honest. I mean, can you ever react? Yeah, but I'm not going to care. You know why? Because you don't know. You don't know what could have happened to you in that fight. You could have got knocked out, fell on the back of your head, and... yeah, it hurts. Even if you haven't been beaten that hard. I've been beaten pretty hard, dude. Had my eyes swollen shut, my cheeks huge as fuck, my lips broken up. Hopefully I have a hard enough head and not air when I get hit in the head. Unless it's just like an immovable object. Fists usually just don't really hurt all that much. They hurt, don't get me wrong, but it's never comfortable to get punched, doesn't matter who you're. Kicked. And I took Muay Thai, so that shit's vicious, man. People don't realize, like, all these people talk about boxing and stuff, and like throwing hands and shit. I was like, yeah, let me see you catch an elbow. Let me see you catch a legit elbow. You're fucking done, dude. I'll tell you that right now. A legit elbow. Someone who's about the same weight as you, even if they're smaller than you. Dude, fuck that. Like, I'd rather be kicked in the head. Honestly, I've been kicked in the head. Doesn't feel that great, but I'd rather not get an elbow to anywhere near my head. That shit fucking hurts, or a knee for that matter. An elbow is easier to throw. You're not sacrificing your balance at all. Throw it. Dude, I've watched guys, little scrawny dudes, elbow a guy, a big ass dude, in the face. They were gone. They were out. They weren't getting back up. I was no real way to get back up. Just reset them. That quick. And that hurts, dude. Even just like, if you elbow someone in the face, dude, your elbow hurts for a couple days. You don't feel good. You feel good because you won. You don't feel good because you hurt somebody. Because you hurt yourself, too. The whole fucking time. That's a pretty big ass kick, too. Been jumped a couple times. All of it sucks. That's all not as true. It's just like I did with helmets. And like sports and stuff. I'm like, look, dude, I don't mind if you're playing football with your friends because you guys aren't gonna beat the shit out of each other out there. But like, actually beat the shit out of each other out there. And play around with your foot. So I was like, dude, with mountain biking, because we mountain bike and stuff, and you started skateboarding and all this other stuff. Well, you gotta understand, man. Let's put it this way, right? I have two prime examples to give you. Tony Hawk and one of our own personal friends who is now mentally handicapped from skateboarding. Granted, it wasn't skateboarding that did it. It was the fact that he wasn't. Well, that might not have been the case either. You don't, like, I know he said he was fine. He woke up the first time, but we don't really actually. Might have been better than what he is today, but I told him, I was like, you could hit your head once wrong and be mentally handicapped. Hit your head 1,000 times and never suffer even a concussion. It depends on how hard you hit the ground, things like that. Really do about it. Or you could be like Tony Hawk and he wore pads and got made fun of for the whole entire fucking time for it. And always wore a helmet and always wore like knee and elbow pads and you know. And he's still skating at like almost 60, if not 60 something. Like,
Right.
really just depends on how you want to do, like how you want to go about life. And I told him that my best advice to you is, if you're gonna be stupid, you have to be tough.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you crying that you bust your head open and you feel bad for yourself because you decided not to wear a helmet. On you. I told you you should wear a helmet. I'll take you to the hospital, obviously, if you need to go. Things like that, but I don't want to hear about it afterwards. Huh?
Nope, because then you won't learn anything.
I don't want to hear about you having to go get your stitches out and you don't want to go do it, but you gotta. Or staples or whatever the fuck they put in your head. I want to hear you whining about it. Now, there's obviously long-term effects to different sports and stuff that you can't really control unless you're just... Then your life gets... It doesn't have to be sports either, just anything. I'm sure if you play video games long enough, it causes some kind of fucking damage to something. Brains, your eyes, whatever it may be. I'm not shitting on video games either. I've been playing them forever. I like video games. Playing video games. There's only so much benefit to everything. Like mountain biking, dude, I don't think you understand how dangerous mountain biking actually is. When I tell people that, they're like, what do you mean? I was like, it's like the #1 reason why people break collarbones. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's like one of the #1 reasons people break collarbones. It's like one of the #1 reasons that, like, I've seen people lose I know a guy, or I met a guy a while back mountain biking, just hanging out at one of the local trails. He has no feeling in his arm. He wrecked into a tree, his shoulder, and he hasn't had feeling in his arm since then. It had been years.
Good lord.
Like years. Yeah, it's just long-term effects of surgery, kind of same stuff. Grab those. Okay. Heat prints. Not a hydro pump. But, yeah, lots of things are like that. There's long-term effects to everything. I don't realize that. Like, I knew there was dude, when we were in school, like, people like us smoking was, like, crazy, like, back then, people smoked normally. Like, that was a normal thing when I was in school. Like, people smoked. Kids smoked a lot less, I'll give you that, but, like, people smoked. Adults were smoking all the time. It was normal.
We saw it in TV. We saw it on TV.
Yeah. It wasn't even just on TV, dude. Just like everywhere you went, there was somebody smoking. You know what I mean? Especially when we were real little, when you could smoke in restaurants and shit. Yeah.
Right. I always
That
remember smelling cigarette smoke everywhere.
And everybody was like, well, that's probably why you smoke. It's like, no, it's because, like, I started smoking because I was an idiot. It had nothing to do with being around it or anything. My parents didn't give me my first cigarette, okay? I hate to tell you all that. That's the way they act. Like, none of my friends smoked at one point like, I didn't have like, there was friends who never smoked I have friends now that never smoked a day in their life. Anything. But, like, come on now. That isn't like inherited from your parents or whatever. Like, that's the way they act, though. Like, that's not real. What are you talking about? Stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Now, I'm sure some parents have bought their kids cigarettes and shit, but I guarantee you, even those parents didn't say you should smoke. I don't think any parent I've ever heard ever in my entire life ever said the word, you should do this. It's actually bad for you. Now, there's some bad advice. Like, when I was in school, everybody told us to get into tech. And now that I'm in tech, it fucking sucks. It just goes to, let's be honest, immigrants. It goes to now. It doesn't go to anyone else. Like, to be an American, a natural born American, don't even matter your race, going to technology is retarded because they're just going to underpay you. You're not going to get paid what you're worth in any economy. Yeah, don't smoke. It's not good for you. I started out dipping. And then I moved to smoking because it was just quicker. Really, but also the people I was around at the time didn't like me dipping and shit. They're always complaining about it. It's like, dude, it doesn't even bother you. There's no smell. Don't take the water bottle out of my back pocket that's full of spit and drink it. It's pretty not hard to do. Like, it's not hard to do. Don't do that. Like, now, to be fair, I've drank my own, and that shit's fucking ugh. Fuck that, dude. I would hate to drink somebody else's.
I mean, I agree.
Not even. Like, fuck all that bull. Reggie Drago. I'm just grabbing stuff so the Pokemon in the front of the party can hold whatever it needs, like Never Melt Ice or Metal Coat or whatever. Plus, I just need resources. Nuggets and stuff. I need Reggie Drago. That's the Reggie. But yeah. Just try and go around the map, look at everything, go to everything. Do it. There's a little Nidoking. I probably have all this stuff. One's probably like an Everstone, one's a Never Melt Ice. I guess the other one's a Metal Coat. Yeah, dips. Although I will say this, I think alright, this is the conspiracy minded me right now. Look, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I grew up in Hillbilly Nation. So all these motherfuckers either smoke or dipped. Pick one. Usually dipped, by the way. I've never met an old dude who got mouth cancer. When I say old, I mean old. Like 90 and shit. No, I'll bring it out. I'll have to pull it over from home. I can do that. But yeah, I've never met a guy who got cancer from dip. Ever in my time. Or a woman, for that matter. Now, I'm not saying it would fuck up your teeth and all that shit. I don't know about that. I'm sure it did fuck up my teeth a bit, too. But, I've never met anyone who got cancer from, dip. to this day. Shit, I even told my son, I said, you probably shouldn't try drugs until you're at least in your 20s. If he's ever going to do it. I suggest don't do it, but if you're going to, do it when you're later in life. But he's got a pretty solid head, so I can't really be like that all the time. But he knows if he does something stupid, like if he goes and gets drunk with his friends in high school or goes and gets high, he knows he can just call me. I'm not going to do anything. Like, he's not going to get reprimanded. I did that shit too. You're probably way not as I was, but you're fine. Am I going to be a little bit disappointed? Yeah, I'll tell him that too. I'm a little disappointed, but won't be the first time he disappointed me, won't be the last time. Just like I'm sure I've disappointed you. I need Calyrex and what's the ghost one? Specterior. It's like scrolling through letters, not remembering what the hell I need. Dustin, you just told me you were online.
Oh man.
Just now. Did I pass Calyrex? I have two. Two. I'll bring over the other icy boy too, why not? But hit save. Yeah, I know, it's Spectator. I didn't think about it. Also, just not really thinking too either. Kind of annoyed by everything. Not everything. Life as a whole.
Everything.
Yeah, I definitely felt like everything. It's just like a lot of things in the world, man. The world's weird. This is. People act like it's certain things are normal that aren't. Like this was like what we're dealing with now. Where'd Calyrex go? Caught him in a Master Ball, didn't I? Oh, you just in the back there. Alright, we gotta put you up here. Keep an Earth too. Bacteria as far as like. Oh, why'd you go? And I'll do the. I'll link them together. A lot of work. We'll put. I guess I gotta use it on Spectre. What? But yeah, I can only do one at a time. That might be the case. Ah, gotta get rid of it. And Calyrex right there. Hey, what? Oh, I would need the other one. Because the other one's, got his main. So I can't really put him on there. Wait, so when you separate them, you can't have them anymore? Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just stupid and clicking too fast. This will do a Pokemon can. Walking around. There he is. Walk around a bit. I wish I could move around more. There he is. Let's show stats too. Summer. Pretty cool Pokemon. Not gonna lie. I do like the way it looks. The design's good. Hey, can I have both Calyrexes? I don't want. No, I can't have both at the same time.
Catch me, Rotom.
That's lame. Catch a whole bunch of them.
Rotom.
You catch a whole bunch of them, and you have to go get the Rotom catalog. Might as well catch all of them that you need.
How many do I need?
Regular Rotom, Rotom Wash, Rotom Mow, Rotom Ross, which is freezer, refrigerator.
I was looking for a
Rotom
number, not
Man.
fucking words.
I'm trying to remember. Mow.
Start rattling off words.
Man. There's 6. Microwave. Missing one, but I can't remember what the... A whole bunch of... I don't remember where the Rotom catalog is. You have to look that one. Sorry. Been a while since I had to do that in that game. I also feel like a lot of people just make a big deal out of nothing. Another really big problem with the world. Like, it's like, guys, come on. What are we doing here? Why are we acting like this is... Why are we acting like isn't the way the world works. Why are we doing this? Silly. It's like the idea of no war. That's never gonna. Like, you can try to stay out of war as much as possible, but it's never gonna happen. Will come to you. There's literally nothing you can do about it. We just got lucky. We didn't have to go to war for the last wars ever fought. It wasn't a draft, but eventually it's going to happen again. It doesn't matter what country you live in. It's going to happen again. Everybody's going to be surprised. It's like, well, you either want a country or you don't. That's the way it works. Everybody makes a big deal out of it. Like, well, you either do you want to have similar Burnham heat? Yeah. Do you want to have similar like cultures? Right? That's the thing people don't realize is culture is a big thing. People think it's not important. It actually is. A lot of our biggest problems that we have today are cultural. It's not even like moral. Moral is a problem because a lot of the cultural shit we deal with can be immoral. So we gotta think about that doing those. But most people don't. Right, yeah, most people are NPCs. Like when people say that, I know it sounds derogatory, but they are. I'm sure I've been an NPC at some point in my life too. Sure, I'm NPC about something. Everybody cries about the dumbest shit. It's like, do you even know what's going on in your own life? Like, when I see people like complaining about like politics or like the state of the world or whatever, like, yeah, I'm complaining about it, but do you even understand what's going on in your own life? I do, as much as I possibly can. These people, man, they can't even like articulate what they're doing, why they're doing it. Like, why they're freaking out over this. Do you even understand why you're freaking out over this? Like, what are you doing? Why you should or should not be freaking out about it? Well, politics are unfortunately important. Whatever fuck. Really care. Politics is very boring.
Yes.
It's just drama. That's all it is. Just the countries, or if it's talking about geopolitics, countries, things like that. It's just drama. It's gay. It really is. It's really annoying. I'll say that. I'll be the first to admit that. And when people get all serious and angry, it's like, dude, it's the truth. Come on. Everyone knows politics is good. I mean, there are some moral stuff to be talked about there, but like most politics is drama. Like a reality TV show. Drama from a reality TV show. What it reminds me of. I think it'd be more important to use your time doing something else better. You should pay attention to it. I'm not saying completely ignore it. People's lives are all about politics or a certain thing. Like the way I see it is, if it's not making you money, it shouldn't be your personality. Nothing should be none of it should be your personality. But if it's definitely not making you money, it shouldn't really be a part of your personality. Like this doesn't make me money. They're like yeah, I do it, but like unless that changes, I don't really give a shit.
wish it
You know what I
was
mean?
making.
Oh yeah, so do I. It's making me lots of money. Maybe one day, but I don't expect that either. I just do things because I like to do them. Like, you should be more worried about that and getting better at it. Like, I am working at getting better at this whole streaming thing. I need a few things. Probably, maybe I should take a class, whether it be online or whatever, on, you know, like Photoshop or GIMP or whatever. To do photo editing, video editing courses on certain softwares and things like that. Maybe I should. I've been thinking about it. It costs money though, so I know you can find a lot of shit. I know you can find a lot of shit online, but no offense to the people who try to do it. I get why you're trying to do it because you're trying to make money, and that's fine. And you know a skill, and you should make money teaching people. You should make money teaching people how to do things, especially if it's a skill-based thing. But the reality is, most of them cut off about halfway through and actually do the thing. Because they're not making enough money to waste the time on it. That's really what it is. I understand, man. It's hard to put time into things that you don't make money off of. Once you get past like the age of 25, you really start noticing that. But you should be thinking it your pretty much your whole life. Even when you're in school, obviously there's reasons why you shouldn't work if you're like injured or whatever. Be working while you're in school. At the bare minimum. And all 4 years if you can. Try to get into something that makes stuff. That's what I'm gonna say. Get into machining. Get into like mechanics. Stuff where you can actually make stuff, you know? Just build, but also make it. Some engineering. Engineering's glorified mechanics. They usually fuck up. All engineers should have to work. You have to repair the thing that they are making after they're done making it. Make changes as needed. This isn't just a car thing. This is all over thing. Shit, electronics. If some of the engineers, like, if some of the things I've had to do, like, just to fix stuff because it's broken, because they don't, like, technically allow you to fix it. Yeah, you can fix it, but it's a backwards ass way of doing it. You gotta figure it out, then you gotta be like, oh, okay, this is the problem. Are we even allowed to find this part? Right? Like shit like that. Sometimes it's just an age thing. Sometimes it's just a... They didn't expect people to buy parts to fix it. Which is understandable, because, I mean, nowadays, nobody knows how to fix anything. Like, a lot of people, like, most people don't know how to fix. Even rudimentary shit, like putting on a serpentine. Like, one of the easiest things you can do. Place a serpentine. Takes like 10 minutes of your life. At most. And that's like going out, buying it, and putting it on. Like, all of it put together. And that's if there isn't a line at the store. Takes like 10 minutes to do. Well, if you're close enough to a store, too. Like, it takes me probably 15, because it takes me minutes to get out there. Any auto parts store that would have a belt. That might have a belt. That's if they have it. But most are just size based, so you're not really worried about like a model of like most serpentine belts are just based on length and width. They don't have much to worry about. As long as you have that length in, right? Actually, that's it. Gotta do that too. But yeah, the amount of guys I've met, like, and this, I know this is like, people are gonna call it sexist or whatever, but the amount of guys that I've met that don't know how to fix anything. What? Like, I'm not even saying complicated things, like easy things. Drywall is easy. It really is. You can master drywall in like a summer or two. It takes work. It takes, you know, you gotta want to get better at it, things like that. But I'm not saying it doesn't take work. But like, let's be real. Like all these people are like drywall guy, like people judge people's work. You can tell it's just someone who's half-assing it or someone who's actually trying to do it right. Even if it isn't perfect, they're trying to do it right. Prime example, old houses and painting, man. You know how hard it is to cut in a ceiling of an old house? Do you even understand how hard that is? Because it's not straight. It's wavy as fuck. Good luck in keeping that straight or making it look straight. That's the hardest part. Is sometimes, even if you do follow the exact crease, it's gonna look wavy. You actually gotta make it look crooked. Like, you actually gotta make it crooked to look straight. Or redo that part of the wall. And look, I'm not the best drywall guy. I'm probably slower than most guys. But I can do it to where it's nice and smooth, no seams.
Ditto.
You'll see more of them.
I thought it was a Meowth.
Yeah, you'll see more dittos. They're everywhere, dude.
So I just sent out my Pokemon to defeat it. And it was like, Floragato defeated a Ditto, and I was like, the fuck you mean?
Yeah, all the dittos are walking around as different Pokemon. You don't see a ditto, like, as a ditto game. Until you battle it, catch it. One thing is that people forget to not do is don't get too. One thing to get stuck in some things that are just like, you know, obviously more superior all the way around, whether it be through morals or whatever. Or a certain way of doing things. Try to be flexible. Flexible as possible. Obviously, there's times where no amount of flexibility is going to change what's actually going on in the scenario, right? Like, you can't get better at something that you don't, can't be explained to you a way to where you understand. Learn how to learn. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't actually learn. A lot of people memorize stuff, which is important. You should memorize certain things, but a lot of the work nowadays is memorization, which is kind of good because it slims it down and makes it easier to digest. Also kind of bad because when people don't think about what they're doing, they don't really think if they can make it better within the realms of reason. Like, I try to, like, even, like, no offense to, but most bosses don't even understand that. That's why I can't stand management half the time. Like, to be honest, I'm gonna be completely frank with you. Go work for a little while for somebody, learn a skill, and then go work for yourself doing that same exact thing. If you can, what you're trying to do. School is important, don't get me wrong, but you don't get anywhere near the experience you do in the actual. Doesn't matter what it is. Either. People think it does, but it just doesn't matter what it is. I learned more things on a work site than I ever have in school. And I had pretty decent grades for the most part in school. For most of school. Not my last couple of years, because you should have to realize things when you're coming in that age. Like, let me explain this to you. I've probably been on a work site since I was like 6, right? Like, obviously I wasn't doing any real work at 6. We all know I was just doing stupid shit like that. Stuff that I could physically handle, right? But like,
Right.
when I go into a classroom that is essentially shop, but it's called it's called manufacturing and construction. And the shop teacher has the same experience that I do working in the actual field at the age of 17. What? Like, you're retarded. Like, I should be teaching you how to do things.
Not wrong.
Like, you start thinking about that kind of stuff, especially when you're getting older, like, especially when you get into high school. Like, when you explain to a teacher that, like, we have to explain to a teacher, like, what you're saying, because they act like you're insane when you say the obvious logical statement. This isn't necessarily, logic doesn't always necessarily cover everything. Probably. Like, for instance, I got in an argument with my one of my English teachers in high school over the use of the word vampire. And I was like, vampires technically are real. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it depends on what definition you're using. And they're like, no, I'm talking about the one that we see in pop culture. I was like, I don't care what you see in pop culture. Like, back in the day, when they came with the word vampire, it was one who drinks blood. Meaning a person who drinks blood. There's people who've been drinking blood their whole entire, like, since existence of man. It doesn't say a type of blood. Now, we all think, obviously, you know, vampire on canines, seduces people, or women's, more specifically, guys, seduces people either way. Gets, you know, and sucks their blood through their neck, with their teeth, and all that. I get that. I'm not saying that's the incorrect statement. Like, Vlad the Impaler did that shit. Like,
Right.
to scare off Muslim invaders. Like, that was something that happened. And it's a famous account. It's not like it's some fucking no-name nobody did it. No, it was like a famous account of someone who did this. Granted, it was a fear tactic and it was pig's blood, but like, that's where Dracula came from. That's where the original idea of Dracula came from. Vlad the Impaler. Look him up. Cool dude. He was a part of the Crusades. Crusades weren't bad. Anyone saying they were bad is stupid. Unless you're just going with the general thought war bad. And even then, that's not necessarily the case either. Or bad for who? Question. That point. It's not relativism either. No one wants to see people die. Obviously, it's bad. That part of war is bad. But if you're defending yourself, is war bad? Like, is it? Like, think about it. It's like, when people say violence bad, war is just violence, just the nth degree. You know? Violence is just a tool. That's why I don't see it as bad. There's no violence for the sake of violence is bad. I'll give you that. But violence because you have a point. Like the reality is, like people don't realize this either. Your ideas are only as good as how much you can enforce them. It's just reality. People get mad at you when you say that. It's like, no, it's true. Tomorrow, if we wanted to, we could take a lot of rights away from people without them even being able to do anything. Nothing they could do. They could fight back. But at that point, if you're fighting back, it's violence involved. No one likes violence, but violence sometimes has to be done. Just like no one likes cleaning out septic tank. It's got to be done, right?
Gotta be done.
No one fucking likes that. It's no different than war. I mean, the only difference is that most people, when they get to clean out a septic tank, they don't die.
I mean, most of the
Can they though? Yeah. They can
Yeah.
die from it. So, which one is
You
this?
could fall in.
Hmm? And they have a blade in there.
I mean,
Chop
I
up
have a
the poo.
15. I have a 1,500-gallon tank or some shit.
Yeah.
Like you could easily fall in there and drown in human feces.
That would suck. That would fuck.
That was what a way to go.
That would suck so bad. There's like only so many ways I would accept dying, and that is not one of them. Like, I'm not accepting that. I'm reliving life right now if that was ever happened. Is it a bell? Some kind of bell, right? Can I just get the shell bell? Dude's bell, maybe? We'll try that. What was the shell bell? Maybe it is a shell bell. That's the problem. Alright, I gotta look this up because it is a puzzle and I'm tired. Let's be honest, that's the reason why I gotta look it up. Oh, you were off Wednesday. Oh, wait, you went to work already, never mind.
I did, yeah, I went to work. I got
I'm an
off
idiot.
early.
You told me that,
You
and then
know-
I forgot about it, and then I was like, wait a second, it's not Wednesday.
I'll probably
That's how that
get
worked.
off around. I'll probably get off around the same time tomorrow.
I should just be the metal coat. Maybe you should. Alright, I'm tired of being nice about this. I gotta look this up.
Huh?
Just get ready. Just get ready for life. You should always be getting ready for life, really, but... Which Reggie steals? Oh. It just wants you to whistle.
Just whistle while you work.
Talks about a fucking bell. Like, oh, you can just whistle, bro. Alright. Here's Reggie Steele. Bro.
Oh my god. Yes.
Nighttime, Lycan Rock. Comes Reggie Steele. Crazy Reggie music. Not a very quick ball if it takes forever to find it. Let's see if that catches, I'll be mad. Charge beam. Can't use a repeat ball, yeah, that sucks. It transferred over to the Pokedex, but that's okay. Well, I guess. BR Steel. Can't use Wicked.
Ew. The boy
Tis a Gary.
is the boy.
Tis the Gary. Probably one of the most important Pokemon of all time.
Is the missing.
He flinches. Good attack. Flash Cannon. God, that's gonna. Poor Urshifu. Like a bitch. Don't really have much that'll help against him either. Guess I can use Drain. Gonna hurt him very much. Is that a fighting move? Hey, what is this typing? It should be Psychic Ghost, right? Yeah. Okay. It might need it. That actually. I mean, it's either gotta be a normal move or a fight. I think I'm a psychic boy. You're a douche. I'm gonna use one more Giga Drain. Still confused at how heavy Slam. Is that a steel? It might be a steel move. Oh, I know. There are just items everywhere on that map, isn't there?
Yeah.
It gets fucking annoying. It gets annoying sometimes. You're gonna get all the Alcremies, Dustin?
No.
Why?
I don't know how the hell these dolphins are fucking swimming
They're
on
beached
land.
whales. They're beached. Hee. Get caught, you piece of shit. Dingleberry. Fuck you. I'm gonna use the one Premier Ball I have and see what happens. You guys call me piece of shit. Good. Good job, Calyrex. You avoided the attack that you just seen coming. Probably use a Tire Ball. Did 1,001 turns. Calyrex fainted. Next up is... who knows? We put out Turnius. Not attacking anymore. Ugh.
There's a random Gary.
Yeah, they tend to fly around. Dude, get caught. This is annoying now. This isn't even fun. This is why you need a Pokemon that knows Fury. I have a heavy ball. Friend ball. We'll be friends. Can we just catch you, bro? We're getting to the point to where I have to start healing people. I don't like that idea. Just don't. Dude! I gotta start healing people. This is gonna sit. Dude! Get out of here with your bullshit. I got this game hate. That was quick. Go Gary. Does Reggie Steele have clean body? Doesn't even make sense to me. Does that make sense to you, Dustin?
Nothing makes sense to me.
See that? Why doesn't I throw a fucking Pokeball before I catch a damn motherfucker? God damn. Really just started making me angry. This is technically a cave. Shit, it's past 12. I need to go to bed.
Holy shit.
It's just heard. If I can get him soon.
Yeah, God, give me full plane. I don't know what they do yet, but I got some.
Yeah, they're lower level. Probably the level ball. Good job, Gary. He's a luxury ball. I mean, he's fake. Or not. This game hates me. think he said it moves. I don't think he can actually hurt me. It's gonna hurt. Fucking bastard. Just struggle now. Killed himself. Well, then I'm calling it because I saved right before it, so I just won't save. It's gay. I didn't know I'm going back in. I'm done for that. That was just annoying. He just kept attacking me. I was like, okay. And then I just started using iron defense repeatedly, which doesn't do anything past a certain point because you can't raise your defense anymore. So he's just using it for no reason. And then he uses struggle because that's all he's got left. Nothing.
Right.
It is what it is, though. It is what it is. Anyways. Hey, do me a favor. Can you go on to Poke Portal, see if there's any news on any new shinies? Raids?
Yeah,
Quick. Oh, you're the fire. Dude building, dude. You're the news.
Hang on, I gotta connect.
You're offline.
I know, I
Plus.
just said I gotta connect.
It should take you to it automatically. Tyranitar.
Looks like Tyranitar's coming.
Roll down a little bit. One more time. Never mind. Okay, so the two Tyranitar raid. It's dark type.
Yeah, looks like it.
Easy enough. Just get a good fighting type Pokemon. Your ride Pokemon is good enough. Really? High enough level. Alright, I'm getting off.
I mean,
Thanks
he is
for
a
all, everybody for
legendary.
watching. He's not a legendary. He's a
He's a what?
pseudo legendary. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. See y'all later. Peace out.
Oh.